Assalamu alaikum. This is the Principles of Microeconomics course directed to first year, groups G, L, M, O, R, and T. Let's continue solving some applications relating to the demand topic. First, state whether the following sentences are true or false. Number 1. Movement from point A to point D reflects a rise in the consumer income. This sentence is true. Why? Because point A is a point on demand curve D2. Point D is a point that is located on a higher demand curve, which is D3. When the demand curve D2 shifts upward to D3, this could be due to the rise in the consumer income. So, when the consumer income increases, the demand for product increase and the whole demand curve will shift rightward. Here we are moving from point on a demand curve to another point on a higher demand curve. That's why this sentence is true. Number 2, the demand for an inferior good decreases when the consumer income increases. This sentence is true. The inferior goods, it's a kind of good which it's a consumption, decrease as the consumer income increases, and the effect is shown graphically by shifting in the whole demand curve leftward or downward. Number 3, people buy more of good 1 when the price of good 2 decreases if these goods are substitutes. This sentence is false. We know that when we have two products that satisfy the same needs, they can replace each other. In this case, we call these goods as substitutes. In this case, when the price of good 2 decreases, people will buy less of good 1. And this is shown graphically by shifting the whole demand curve to the left, or we have a downward shift in the demand curve. So the correction of this sentence is that people buy less of good 1 when the price of good 2 decreases if these goods are substitutes. Number 4, movement from point B to point C indicates that the quantity demanded increases due to a rise in the price, other things being equal. This sentence is false. Why? Because movement from point B to point C indicates that the quantity demanded decreases, not increases, due to a rise in the price level. Here we are moving on the same demand curve. As the price level increases, but the quantity demanded decreases, not increases, and this is called change in the quantity demand. Number 5, if the taste is in favor of a good, the demand increases and the demand curve will shift leftward, other things being equal. This sentence is false. Why? Because when the taste of the consumer is in favor of a good, the consumer has a desire to buy the good and he is in favor of the good. In this case, the demand for the good would increase, but the demand curve will shift rightward, not leftward. And this is shown graphically by shifting the whole demand curve from D1 to D2, rightward to D2. So when the taste is in favor of the good, the demand increases and the whole demand curve will shift to the right. Number 6, there is a movement up along the demand curve. If the price of the good fall down, this sentence is false. Because when the price of a product decreases, for example, from 4 pounds to 3 pounds, here we are moving down, not up, along the demand curve. We are moving from point D to point C. So we are turning down along the demand curve. So the correction of this sentence is that there is a movement down along the demand curve if the price of the good falls down. Number 7, when the price of a certain good increases, the demand for the good decreases. This sentence is false. Why? Because when the price of a certain good increases, the quantity demanded, not the demand for the good, decreases. And this is shown graphically by moving along the demand curve from one point to another point. Again, when the price of a certain good increases, the quantity demanded of the good decreases, not the demand. And this is shown graphically by moving from one point to another point along the same demand curve. While the other factors that affect the demand, like income, consumer tastes, the prices of other goods, if there is a change in the other factors, the demand for the good would change and the whole demand curve would shift either rightward or shiftward. While the price of a certain good, when it changes, the quantity demanded of the same good would change in the opposite direction. Again, when the price of a certain good increases, the quantity demanded of that good decreases, not the demand.